Good morning. I'm channeling my inner Vince, you guys. We got him this for Christmas one year and he didn't. He wanted me to send it back. So he's in Colorado this morning, but we have some awesome takeaways from Explosion and some updates.
Absolutely, a couple panels that we're going to be having today.
Boom. So Heather and I are going to lead the way. So we'll start out with virtual Vince here.
How we doing? Welcome to Omaha, Nebraska. We are excited to have you guys. I think we have people from over 45 organizations here. We've expanded this a little bit from last year, so we're going to have a fast-packed, action-packed couple of days. I wanted to make sure everyone's awake. I asked Brooke and Shannon if I should do a crazy thing that I do. They're like, if you do it, make sure you do it like you would normally do it. You're going to probably embarrass yourself, but that's okay. I embarrass myself quite often. So I want to give a good, big Omaha welcome to you guys. Muhammad Ali is my favorite athlete of all time. The late, great Muhammad Ali. And actually, down in my office, there's a painting, Adam Briley. I don't know if he's here yet. He should be floating around here somewhere. He could still be sleeping. Gave me a painting for one of my favorite quotes of Muhammad Ali, which is, champions aren't made in the gym. Champions are made from something that comes in deep inside of them. A dream, a desire, and a vision. So my tribute to Muhammad Ali and a wake-up call to you guys is, first there was the rumble in the jungle, then the Thriller in Manila, and today in Omaha, Nebraska, there's going to be a real estate conference for the ages. Explosion 2019. I said, let's get ready to rumble. Are you ready? Huh? Are we ready? Guys, it's going to be action-packed, fast, crazy. I hope you learn a lot, and I hope you have a lot of fun. So now that we know everybody's awake.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it sure was a 3 days of action-packed, so fast-paced conference. It was awesome. So we'll dive into that here a little bit later with a couple panels. But thank you guys for opening up the office, and everybody that came loved the energy, was just amazed.
And I'm pretty sure Vince is happy that he has to miss today because now he's not quite as embarrassed by this video that we have here for you. So
is this a joke? Whoever's not at sales meeting gets made fun of?
I think so.
Right?
So, usually Vince is at every meeting and he leads them all, but he's actually allowed us ladies to be here today and
for the last
without
time.
him. So we thank you for coming. We didn't want to reschedule this important meeting, so thank you for joining us. And Brooke's going to be Vince today. She has channeled her inner Vince. So we're going to start off with the inspirational video like he would normally do.
Let's kick it.
I'm going to talk to you about some things I've learned in my journey. Most from experience, some of them I heard in passing, many of them I'm still practicing, but all of them I do believe are true. Life is not easy. It is not. Don't try to make it that way. Life's not fair. It never was. It isn't now, and it won't ever be. Do not fall into the trap, the entitlement trap, of feeling like you're a victim. You are not. Get over it and get on with it. So the question that we got to ask ourselves is what success is to us. What success is to you. Is it more money? That's fine. I got nothing against money. Maybe it's a healthy family. Maybe it's a happy marriage. Maybe it's to help others, to be famous, to be spiritually sound, to leave the world a little bit better place than you found it. Continue to ask yourself that question. Now, your answer may change over time, and that's fine. But do yourself this favor. Whatever your answer is, don't choose anything that will jeopardize your soul. Prioritize who you are, who you want to be, and don't spend time with anything that antagonizes your character. Be brave, take the hill, but first answer that question, what's my hill? So first, we have to define success for ourselves. And then, we have to put in the work to maintain it. Take that daily tally. Tend our garden. Keep the things that are important to us in good shape. Where you are not is as important as where you are. It is just as important where we are not as it is where we are. Look, the first step that leads to our identity in life is usually not, I know who I am, I know who I am. That's not the first step. The first step's usually, I know who I am not. process of elimination. Defining ourselves by what we are not is the first step that leads us to really knowing who we are. You know that group of friends that you hang out with that they really might not bring out the best in you? You know, they gossip too much, or they're kind of shady. They really aren't going to be there for you in a pinch. Or how about that bar that we keep going to that we always seem to have the worst hangover from? Or that computer screen, right? The computer screen that keeps giving us an excuse not to get out of the house and engage with the world and get some real human interaction. Or how about that food that we keep eating? The stuff that tastes so good going down, it makes us feel like crap the next week. We feel lethargic and we keep putting on weight. Well, those people, those places, those things, stop giving them your time and energy. Just don't go there. I mean, put them down. And when you do this, when you do put them down, when you quit going there, when you quit giving them your time, you inadvertently find yourself spending more time and in more places that are healthy for you, that bring you more joy. Why? Because you just eliminated the who's, the where's, the what's, and the when's that were keeping you from your identity. Like, trust me, too many options, I promise you, too many options will make a tyrant of us all. All right, so get rid of the excess, the wasted time. Decrease your options. If you do this, you will have accidentally, almost innocently, put in front of you what is important to you by process of elimination. Knowing who we are is hard. It's hard. Give yourself a break. Eliminate who you are not first. And you're going to find yourself where you need to be. Instead of creating outcomes that take from us, let's create more outcomes that pay us back, fill us up, keep your fire lit, turn you on for the most amount of time in your future. We try our best, we don't always do our best. Architecture is a verb as well. And since we are the architects of our own lives, let's study the habits, the practices, the routines that we have that lead to and feed our success. Our joy, our honest pain, our laughter, our earned tears. Let's dissect that and give thanks for those things. And when we do that, guess what happens? We get better at them. And we have more to dissect. Be discerning. Choose it because you want it. Do it because you want to. We're going to make mistakes. You got to own them. Then you got to make amends. And then you got to move on. Guilt and regret kills many a man before their time. So turn the page. Get off the ride. You are the author of the book of your life.
So, knowing who you are and knowing who you are not. This was a handout that we shared at Explosion. Heather and I are going to go through it. So proactive versus reactive people. So if you recognize if you're one of these, proactive, or you recognize you're a reactive person. So proactive people, I can do better than that.
That's just the way I am.
There is nothing I can do. I'll just have to suck it up.
If my boss wasn't such a jerk, things would be different.
I will do it.
I'll try, maybe.
I choose to.
I have to.
There's got to be a way.
I can't.
I'm not going to let your bad mood rub off on me.
You ruined my day.
The difference. So here we go. Here's reactive people.
Reactive people make themselves victims, are easily offended, blame others, get angry and say things they later regret, whine and complain, wait for things to happen to them, and change only when they have to.
Right, and proactive people are not easily offended, take responsibility for their choices, think before they act, bounce back when something bad happens, always finds a way to make it happen, focuses on the things that they can do something about and not worry about the things they can't. So it's cool. We'll send that out too. But
And along with this video, a lot of top agents say that they're just finishing up their year right now, getting ready to start their next year, 2020. So, I mean, if you guys haven't gotten your game plan ready, we've got a couple options that, Vincent is going to talk to us about today. Brooke is. So we've got some training coming up also. So, for the most part, if you guys haven't been prospecting, you might get a couple more deals at the end of the year. But we've got some options coming up for you to kind of gear up for the year of 2020 because we should have a great year. Rates are low and, things are good.
Heck yeah. So we got Heather's training class that starts October 10th.
October 10th this year.
So it's a 6-week training. A 6-week commitment is required. If you're going to sign up, make sure you do commit and come each week. So it's for 2 hours on Thursday.
It'll be from 9 to 10. We'll have a bunch of different agents coming in speaking about better business practices that they do, give us kind of tips, tricks, ideas that we can use and implement into our businesses. And then we'll have, business building tips and tricks also, building plan, business plan, time blocking, scheduling, stuff like that. So we'd love to have you there.
The evolution of this has been really cool to watch. Heather, you do a great job with it. And
I sweat profusely.
The class will be sold out. Will be packed. Yes. So we'll send out an Eventbrite to sign up on that. Joe Westerhouse has a Buffini class coming up here. So the class is $395 for the materials. The class will start Wednesday, September 25th at 9:30, and it will be for 9 weeks. So we'll send something out about that. And then Gary Carpenter has a class as well.
Gary Carpenter has a class. I think it's tomorrow. I believe the last I heard there was 2 spots left. So if you guys want to attend that, it is free. It is 3 CE hours, I think, also. So reach out to Gary or Linda Carpenter and get signed up for that as well.
Right. And then Heather's class is free as well. So let's go into the Good Guy Award before we knock out our whole explosion, because that'll take up a chunk of our time. So Good Guy Award, Nico Marasco.
What? There you are. I was going to say, you stood us up.
Good morning.
I'm more nervous than you guys. What? Nothing.
Talking shit?
No.
So, is this on? It is. So, good guy. This Good Guy Award goes out to somebody who we had a very delightful transaction with earlier this year. I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like some of these transactions get harder and harder, and emotions get a little bit more crazier, deal after deal. And this, hey, Mimi, and this agent, totally kidding. Wow. And this agent did a really good job of just kind of getting the deal done, and absolute treat to work with. So this Good Guy Award goes to Tawny Whistler.
Woo! Get excited. Yay! Awesome. Cool, yes, you deserve it. Then thank you, Mercury Home Builders, for breakfast. Thank you guys back there. What other upcoming events? We have our Grill Master is 2 week, September 5th. Next week.
I think it's next Wednesday or Thursday.
Thursday, a week away, yes.
So we're looking for grill masters. I think Vince pays for the meat, so if you guys want to sign up and do the grilling, we'd love to have you. I think we've got a few recurring entries, but we are looking for some new meat for our party. Yes, some new grill masters. I know, I had to go the inappropriate route.
And if you have, and as an agent, if you're a family member or someone that is a meat head, I don't know, griller, so have them come too, because they'll start probably at 10 o'clock. The boys will come out with their smokers and the grills. Well, the whole parking lot will be packed.
And it's a family-friendly event, so if you guys want to bring your kids, spouses, whatnot, they're more than welcome to come and join us as well.
Definitely we'll have a bag toss tournament again for this one, but yeah. Let's get into
one housekeeping, only because we didn't have that many people at the last meeting, and I just wanted to repeat it one more time. So a lot of us are getting hit with social media issues with the Real Estate Commission. So in our masterminds, we've been sharing it. We've got the idea, I think from Trevor Shade, if I'm not mistaken, but if you're posting something on Instagram or Facebook, if you tag the location as Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Ambassador Real Estate, then you do not have to put it in your tagline for your social media to be in compliance with the Real Estate Commission. If you're doing any real estate post on either one of your social media sites or any social media site, you must tag Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Ambassador Real Estate in it, or they are fining you. And it's not us turning you in, it's not the Real Estate Commission looking for you, it's other agents at different companies that are doing it. So they're bored, they got nothing better to do. So to keep your life easy, just tag your location as Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Ambassador Real Estate, and you'll be in the clear from that issue. So it could save you, I think the fine is what, $2,500? So it's important to make sure that all your social media posts are tagged properly. Yes, Trina? Okay, so Trina's asking if there's a specific way that we have to tag that. So social media, we do have the ability to just tag it as BHHS Ambassador Real Estate, but everything else that you do besides social media has to be spelled out completely Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Ambassador Real Estate. So.
Is that when you send, you get tagged?
So actually, when you're creating the post, you can hit location. It'll say add a location, and then you just have to add this as your location, and it will automatically appear. So every clickable page would have that as your location, or it would be in there for you. So.
And also, so marketing is going to be around here after sales meeting for an hour answering questions, and it's just any topic, but those marketing, social media, tech questions, bring those. They'll be here for an hour after meeting.
Yes. Yes.
For the social media resource, like auto posts that go out, are those ones fine?
So.
I don't post those, so I mean, do I need to go back and tag the location?
I think that's something that we need to talk with the marketing department, that anything that's going out of our resource center, that's tagged properly, but it should be okay if it's coming out of the resource center, but we'll verify that for you.
Right, let's get into Explosion. So our first panel, you guys, so we had 175 guests in town, and like I said, they were mind blown by our building and our agents and our ambassadors, and thank you for our ambassadors who had a helping hand in it. You guys did great. We also raised $3,500 for the Sunshine Kids, thanks to Fred and Cindy donating their condos and helped raise money for the Sunshine. So Karen?
This was our third year having the Explosion event, and so we really don't invite people from Omaha to participate in it. They're part of the panels, so that's why we come back and have the panels and have
Shelley?
the ones that did go to this event share all the great information that they learned with you guys. So for the ones that didn't know exactly what Explosion was, we just invite different people from different companies to come out and learn from other agents from different companies as well. So it's kind of a collaboration of ideas and events that people do. So
it's what we do here as a company, but it's so foreign to other agents coming in that we're sharing this knowledge and with each other. Ladies, you guys can come up. We had Riz Media, also the CEOs of Riz Media were in the house. They did pre and post coverage. They'll be back here this next year, but they were kind of blown away too. Throughout the conference, there was different keynote sessions, breakout sessions, round tables. So the keynote, we're all in one room. Alan Dalton and Chris Stewart were those keynote speakers. And then for more of an intimate conversation, we would break out into the round tables, and I'll let you guys kind of describe what that was like. But go through and just say your name and what, because you had presented at Explosion before, Shelley. Jen, this was your first time, so go through and say this is your experience with Explosion in the past and who you are.
Oh, great. Okay. Hi, I'm Shelley Klemke, and I have participated in Explosion for the last 3 years. It's awesome to hear from other Berkshire Hathaway agents outside of Omaha, and it's neat just to kind of learn other behaviors and other things that help make them more profitable and sell. I particularly led a roundtable about balance and about balancing work, life, kids, that kind of stuff. And it was great. You know, the roundtable experiences were basically a group of about 10 to 20 agents sitting around, and they were able to have just conversation versus being in a situation like this, which is a little less, like talking to each other. So it was great to kind of get to know and dive into other agents. And I actually walked away with people I would say are new friends. So it was great.
Very cool.
Yay. So this was my first roundtable and Explosion event, and I had a wonderful time. I got to lead a meditation on Wednesday morning, and I'm leading meditations on Tuesdays at noon in the yoga room downstairs, so anyone who wants to attend.
Hello, my name's Karen Jennings, and this was my first Explosion event. I had no idea what it was going to be about, but it's an incredible event because you have national speakers that start the day off and kind of get you inspired to be the best you can be in what you're doing, and then we break into the roundtables. And I was involved with 2 roundtables. One was on meeting seller expectations, and the other one was called "The Ball's Out."
How to ball out.
Or how to ball out. Okay, switching anyway.
Pretty sure that Brooke made that name up.
Brooke gave me
She's
the
a baller.
title, so that's not. And so anyway, it was great to collaborate with agents both here at Berkshire, and I think we had 40 different brokers that attended the event, and I made a lot of Facebook friends. Got a chance to really connect with people from Virginia, people from Colorado, just all over. I mean, I think there was some Alaska people, Hawaii people. It was incredible. So was very inspired by it, and I had a great time.
Hi, my name's Shelly Novotny. I'm the other Shelly. Hi, Shelly. This is the second time that I got to go to Explosion, so I was super jazzed because I didn't get to go last year. I was so disappointed. Like, I had my tail between my legs. So if you get to go, you really should go. It's a great opportunity to stretch yourself and grow and take back those little tidbits to put them into your toolbox just to become a little bit better and sharpen your skill set. I was jumping in and out of Explosion because I had a couple of deals falling apart. Anybody experience that? And then I was preparing for a really nice listing appointment. But I went to Fred Tischauer's investment course. I went to the high-tech class. And what I really, really liked was the panels. I thought that the panels brought a lot of good stuff. The Rethink Council is really great on just different ideas on how we can be touching our clients, social media ideas. I loved Alan Dalton. I have been typing, getting ready for our mastermind group this afternoon. I have notes galore. So if you're my mastermind group, get ready, kids. I'm bringing lots of meats and potatoes, okay?
Yes, Alan was great, and we'll have Scott talk a little bit about him. So how about let's go through and what was your biggest takeaway that you're going to be implementing to your team right away, or yourself or your team right away?
And how will you be implementing it?
Yes.
So what's the one biggest takeaway that you got that you're going to be implementing?
I think the biggest takeaway with me was you get what you give. Whether it's through social media, you're just constantly giving to your clients. You're giving them information. You're giving them education. You're giving them sweet treats. Glenda Baker, right. She sends out these brownies with her face on her brownie, on the actual brownie itself, and she brought the treats with us to see it. It was incredible.
Smart marketing. There you go.
I mean, the Rethink Council, everyone on that council was giving to their sphere, giving to their clients. They were giving coffee cups with their names on them. They were dropping off pumpkins. I have a whole list of things that I wrote down, but I think at the end of the day, I think that was my biggest takeaway.
Is staying in front of your clients and
in front of your clients and giving to them, because you get back so many referrals from that if you're constantly giving them.
I second that, but mostly for me, it was just, I loved what Jake Breen had to say, and I don't remember Spencer's last name, but Spencer's
Janky from Utah.
So great. Just stopping and breathing throughout the day and just taking a minute, because the dust and the grit of the journey gets to everybody in this, and it kind of takes a toll. And so that to me was the biggest takeaway, although it was pretty simple.
Right.
The morning routine is so important, whether it's working out or meditating or some form of having time for yourself first thing in the morning, and then really hitting it hard, reaching out to your database or prospecting or whatever it may be in the morning, and just keeping that morning routine like almost sacred so that then the rest of your day can flow.
That was constant between all these agents and everybody throughout. They had their own way, but definitely had some sort of mental was the constant theme. Nice.
So after you get your morning prepared, it's like, okay, now you have to practice your skill set. So I think Deb Sizik and I both agree that we can't say listing appointment anymore. So it's a marketing proposal, and we're merchandising experts, and so we have to have a marketing proposal. And as a merchandising expert, you know, we're not only selling, but we're the PR person, and we just have to get it all lined up. And how do you create that? And you just have to have the right people in the right places. So I'm going to go back and start creating those lifestyle videos. And they suggested just hiring college students, for $10 or $12 an hour to come out and help you create those videos. And the video, you're going to create community videos, but you can also create home videos, and so you're going to intertwine those. And I loved, I know you're going to be talking about Alan Dalton, so I don't want to take too much away, but loved him. He talked about, I don't know if I have it in here, something about genius something. What was it? What was the website? I don't know. He sent you to a domain, but it was pretty impressive. And the girls were always talking about their social media. If you do social media, have a tag, start with a question, bring them in, and then ask your people to like it and then share it, because everybody's going to want to like you, right? And they're always going to want to share.
It was cute. So Kristen, she had on her video giveaways, she does it through an agent tour, and every single time she waits till the very last, so she announces the winner. So when you retain people watching, and then she gives a giveaway at the end of the video. So she said she hit her video is, yeah.
Is she the one that does the Tuesday tips?
Yes.
Okay, so if you were in that class or the Rethink Council, she talked about Tuesday tips. Kristen. Okay, Kristen, yeah. And so she said something about choosing a house is like choosing a husband. You have to live with it. And so she was in her wedding dress. And
No house.
what was it?
No house is perfect, just like your husband's.
And then if you outgrow it, just call me. So it was something, and she was in her wedding dress, and she turned around and she didn't quite fit in her wedding dress. So it was just so adorable. And she's the same gal that every time she drives. Southern New Hampshire, yeah. And so when she drives by their house, she'll beep, and then she'll send them a text with a little wave. So I thought that was really cute.
Super cute.
I think she was also the one that does Facebook Live for previews. So on her coming soons, she actually videotapes the house and puts it on her site and says, if you want a preview, you have to get onto my website and follow me through the home. And I thought that was really
right. Another
incredible.
one, and they create a closed Facebook group for all of their past clients. So just like our Berkshire agents Facebook page, they have one for all your past clients.
I think the other thing that I got out of it was the millennials really do want handwritten notes. They want that white glove treatment to them too, even though we assume that the millennials are more techie and they like to text
and if you don't like writing handwritten notes, there's an app that makes it look like it's a handwritten note. So you type it, send it, and it'll send off your handwritten note. We'll share that. Shelly, what was your favorite presenter and why?
There was a gal from Durango.
Ashley.
Ashley, yeah. I thought she was great. She was young, and she was extremely professional. And she did something that when she walked up to the property, as she would always get there 15 minutes early. She was in my round table, and she discussed about how you never are late to appointment, like never. And then when you get there, she would do a little video on her phone, and then she would walk into her sellers and say, basically to sign the contract, and I'll go ahead and put this video up tonight and just start, presenting it to people as a coming soon. And so she was just trying to embrace the act now mentality, and that stuck with me.
It was way cool. So it's like she made a video, like a day in them driving to the actual house and everything already made. And so, yeah.
Now she lives in the mountains in Durango, where it's a very lifestyle community, and she has like skis, and we can come up with something, right?
Karen, who is your favorite presenter? Or what were you gonna say?
Well, I was just going to go more on what this is all pretty much the Rethink Council, but some of them do Christmas ornaments for every closing gift. So every year they hang their Christmas ornaments up, they think of you. I thought that was really unique. The coffee cup, where they would basically send out, they branded with a local coffee maker, and they would put their name, and every time they would take this little, what do you call the holders, the coffee cup holders, into the coffee shop. Yeah, the coffee sleeves. They would take them in, and then they would get a free cup of coffee. And then they would, and some of them, the local coffee cup people would then start to brand the cups with her name on it. This is a smaller community in southern New Hampshire, but I thought that was great. I don't know. I think the client appreciation events, they don't just do parties, but some of them do, they'll do garage sales, they'll do neighborhood event. A lot of people do them here already. I know Mamie talked a lot about the client appreciation parties that they do, but there's just a lot of unique ideas.
I loved Fred. Fred is always so passionate, and he makes it really kind of like you can't not invest and you can't not talk to your entire database about investing, because it makes so much sense. And then Tanner was super inspiring. I mean, he's like 23 or 24. That was completely amazing. And it was very convincing, so I appreciated that.
Is there anything else that you guys like? What was your favorite part? Did you guys like the roundtables or the actual the presentations? We had general sessions and every single day about two or three of those. So I mean, what was your favorite part about the
even the social
event?
networking part of it as well.
Yeah, just getting to know more people and just getting ideas. So I think it's great. Both when there's panels and also the roundtables. I probably preferred the roundtables just because they were a little more intimate. But and we got to go to Vince's house, and he had a great band and a barbecue, and it was just nice to mingle with people from all over.
Nice.
I loved Alan Dalton. I thought he was hilarious and interesting and different and just very engaging. And I appreciated his candor. He was super in your face about where our industry is headed and how we need to be constantly evolving and constantly different.
And everything that we say wrong, that we all say every single day.
It's great.
I think one of the things that Vince brought forward was that on the panel that I was on is that every single person does business a little differently, and that there's no right or wrong way to do business. Some people are in the office 100% of the time. Then Vince referred me as the unicorn of the group because I actually do all my business out of my home. But some are very in tune with their clients and want to know all their kids' names, their dog names, everything about their clients. And Heather was like, I don't want to get too close to my clients. It's all professional.
It wasn't me, it was another Heather, just so you know.
Yeah.
I know I'm mean, but
I think it was Heather Bart.
I think
Bortnick, Kansas City.
Heather Bortnick out of Kansas City. She's very professional. She has a ton of business, and I think she has 50 people on her team, and she's very extremely focused. So it was just a real variety of people, how some want to get close to their clients and some want to keep it very business-like. And we all just are just uniquely different. I think that's the great thing about this whole room is that everyone in this room today probably does their business a little differently.
Absolutely.
Heather's the one that said, I don't care where your dog's buried.
Again, not me.
What I really, really loved was just the fact that we had Alan Dalton here. I'm sorry, I'm in love with the man.
He's brilliant. I am too.
He is
I'm
just
super fan.
holy buckets. Spend an hour with him, and he will change your life, and he will change your verbiage. I've decided that I need to go back to school and change everything that I've ever done in my life. But I went to his breakout session, and he talked about 10 ways to increase your value. And what I really loved was the way he talked about when he called for sale by owners. He said, I would call the for sale by owners and say, I'm Alan Dalton calling from the for sale by owner division. I love that. He created authority immediately. And then, are you from the for sale by owner division? I need to know. Raise your hand. Okay.
Power, that's awesome.
And then he said, we just need to show our expertise before we discuss price. I think we're just so quick to blurt out and puke price immediately. So he talked about that. He said we need to spend money to make money, so put some skin in the game. And then he goes back to talking about when someone asks you, like, how is the market? And I'm going to say this wrong, so help me out. He says, thanks for asking. We're an opportunist. Yeah, thank you. Market for both buyers, sellers, and investors. You sit up here and you try and do this, okay? So he says, it's a great time to upsell. It's a great time to downscale. And then he says, do downsizing with distinction. And then remember, influence people with price. So, and he goes back and he says, if you're the director of merchandising, you're also the product of development. So there was just so much. If we could talk to you for the next 5 hours, it could change your career and your pocketbook.
Right, and we'll have, so all the breakout sessions and keynote speakers, panels as well will be edited in video, and we'll send that out. So they'll have like 9 different clips of 40 minutes to 45. So we'll share that all with you guys as well.
Can we go through like one last?
Yeah, I was going to say anything else. Yeah, you guys want to leave?
You know, everyone that walked in this building was so impressed, like totally blown away. So I think we can sometimes take for granted what we have here in Omaha, but everyone was like, you guys have no idea how lucky you are. So it's just a good reminder. We have awesome leadership, and we're surrounded by truly agents that we all support each other, which is rare.
Yeah, I agree with that. And we have such an extraordinary leader, and he's created more leaders, and we're building all of the time, and we're leaning on each other like a big family. And I think they were kind of marveling at our culture. So I loved that.
Absolutely.
I think the takeaway for me is that I usually don't leave Omaha to go to many continuing education events. I tend to kind of be sucked in my own world, and for me, I enjoyed meeting so many new people and getting opportunity, and I feel like I really need to do more of that to refresh my business, to refresh my outlook.
Love it.
Okay, we have 5 tickets to Explosion next year. No, I'm just kidding. What did I love? What was my biggest takeaway? Growth. I mean, if you guys can go get after it, the only way that you're going to make money is if you just increase your value and your knowledge. Knowledge increases the ability to be just a little bit smarter. And, remember, your buyer's smarter than you. They know the market, right? They know all of the stats and everything. And so you have to just be a little bit smarter and a little bit brighter and get after it. So if you guys have a chance to go next year, I really encourage you to go. We are really, really blessed. And I loved how Alan Dalton described a prophet, what it looks like. It's a tall man, and he's wearing flip-flops, and then he described Vince, and he truly is a prophet. So there you go. You've met one.
Awesome.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank
so much.
you.
Give them a round of applause. All right, we're going to introduce our second panel. If you guys wouldn't mind coming up to join us, please.
Awesome. Okay, let's go through and your name and your experience with Explosion. Yeah.
Mamie Jackson. This is my 3rd year at Explosion, being on a panel and doing a roundtable.
And what roundtable did you lead?
We did, it was client appreciation parties, tips and tricks, and then how to stay in front of your clients without being annoying.
And how was that interaction? And sorry, we'll go through after. Yes, yeah. Sorry.
Deb Sizek, and this was my 3rd year at Explosion, and I'm going to go sit down because you guys said everything that I was going to say. I'm just like ticking them off like, okay. So I have nothing left to say other than it was fabulous, and the first panel did a great job.
Hi, I'm Scott Knutson. This is my 3rd year at Explosion. I was a paid attendee. I paid the whole $375, and it was worth every penny of it. I'm going to talk a heck of a lot about Alan Dalton when it's my turn.
I'm Trevor Shade, and this was my first experience with Explosion, and I was on a panel with Vince and Chris.
Kelly.
Kelly, thank you.
Yep.
That runs a brokerage
Holiday.
in Dallas. And we talked about creating cultures that people want to be part of.
So Chris Kelly from Ebby Holiday, he's really grown that in Dallas. So it was way cool. We had Gino was moderating that. So it was Vince's, the same question. We had Vince's perspective, how he organically grew his culture into this mega office. Trevor, how he's growing a team, not a mega team, but a mid to large size team. And then Chris Kelly, who had walked into a brokerage that was already built, and then he rechanged and revamped that culture. So it was way cool. You want to tell us a little bit about your breakout session then?
Sure. Yeah. So there was, like Brooke said, there's a lot of different perspectives. Some of the points that I could bring was when I was putting the team together and figuring out what type of culture I wanted to create. It was a two-part deal. I had to think about what culture did I actually want to be part of, and just take a minute and slow down and stay authentic to that. And then I had to build in safety nets and different ways that I would revisit those principles in that culture, so that the culture was always bigger than me, and I couldn't ever tarnish the culture as the team grew. And if someone was coming onto the team or possibly coming onto the team, did they actually fit the culture? Did they actually want to be part of this, or were they a better fit somewhere else? And just always holding true to that, even when you have some of the ulterior motives and reasons that you could just grow and take on anybody, but really then you would diminish what you actually even wanted to create in the first place.
Right. Very nice. Then Mamie, you led the round table. You want to talk about yours?
Sure. We led, who was in there with me? People from other parts of the country were in there, and then Megan and I did one. And it was literally just everything that Vince keeps preaching and that we all keep preaching about: staying in front of your clients, spend a little money on them. We learned a lot from the other people in there. You know, one girl does an ice cream social every year. Everyone looks forward to it every year. They leave school off the first day. They all walk by. It's in this particular neighborhood, and they're like, every year she does it, and she gets all this time with the parents while the kids are having ice cream and face painting and things like that. So really just the basics of talking to your clients. Everyone hates that kick in the gut when all of a sudden, it's happened to me. You send the note card and it comes back because, gee, they moved and you didn't know because you weren't keeping in touch with them. So just doing that.
Right. Deb, how was your breakout session? Or your round
I
table?
did luxury housing on one of the panels, and one of finding your value and getting higher commissions. And then I did one on what do you say to your clients when you know you're going to be gone for a long time? For me, that was pretty easy because I was gone for a long time, and what you do to keep your business alive when you're doing that. But the luxury panel was led by Mary Lee out of, she heads up California, and she had something that I thought was fabulous. It was $45, and it was a video, it was like a video card, and you can reprogram it every time you use it. But if you wanted to send that out as like your pre-listing packet, it was just a book that you opened up, and it was a video that you can erase and change each time. But it was fabulous, really cool.
Very slick. I did see like a luxury key, was it? Did some of the luxury houses have keys? Okay.
They might have, but
okay.
I didn't see that part. But it was, there were just some really cool ideas that were pretty reasonably priced too.
Nice.
Well, I didn't lead any panels, but I was privileged to attend as many as I possibly could. I enjoyed every single one of them. I took 31 pages of notes. I heard that we were going to have these discussions, but I didn't react to it. And last night at 4 o'clock, I got a call from Brooke and Heather saying, "Scott, would you please be on this panel?" So you knew, if you told me before, I'd have given you 25 pages of notes and conversation.
You guys are welcome.
I said we only had 20 minutes, Scott. We'd have to have 1 minute answers.
Instead, I've got one page. And I focused on Alan Dalton. I was in some great other meetings, so
let's get some of your best takeaways from Alan Dalton.
Yeah, I will, but I want to add. I want to add that I found my soulmate. Alan Dalton looks at the world different than everybody else, maybe Ralph, but Alan Dalton looks at the world different than anybody else, and I finally found somebody I can relate to. I love the way he goes after problems. I love the way he expresses himself. I got the privilege of taking him to the airport. I had to do this so I could see you and this to see that. But anyway, I had the privilege of taking him to the airport. Took 45 minutes. He wanted to know where Warren Buffett lived. Fortunately, I live right around the corner from Warren, so he stopped by and we saw Sandy at our house. We went to Warren Buffett's
so
house.
Alan, your favorite Alan takeaway.
I think he wants to drive to the airport.
Sorry. It's your turn. Your
Is it my
favorite
turn to talk?
takeaway.
And that's some small font, you guys. Like, that's not one page.
All righty. All right. The number one takeaway is we spend too much time chasing our new clients and nowhere near enough time nurturing previous clients, current friends, and acquaintances, also known as our sphere. That's number one takeaway. Now, the only way we have to access people is through their concerns. Everyone has one doctor, one dentist, one lawyer, and it's based on their skill sets. Then we have 10 real estate agents ranked by their overpriced services that we offer. We tell our potential clients how wonderful we are. They don't care. We tell them how beautiful their home is. So does the pizza delivery guy. It's empty, anticipated, and meaningless. We then tell them we will run comps to come up with a price. That's an insult. It's like telling them your kids are wonderful compared to the kids next door. They don't. It's a whole different concept. We don't want to go in there and insult our people. We pop by with pumpkins. Sorry, Shelley, or whoever said that earlier. And does a doctor or an attorney do that? No, they don't. So we need to rethink the whole way we do business. We need to promote ourselves based on our skill set, not our service. Service providers are people that can easily be replaced. There's a whole service industry out there, and God bless them. But we are skilled professionals at what we do. I'm getting away from my notes. Just say no to tariffs. Also known as referral fees charged by companies like Zillow. 75% of all consumer searches for real estate and agents begins online. Our industry loves referrals. We are conditioned to ask them, and we just justify paying for them by telling ourselves we are getting new business we wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Paying referrals is to the predatory tariff companies strengthens their game and inserts themselves between us and our consumer and our commission checks.
Yes, very powerful.
I got more, but
very nice. Yes, we'll come back to that for sure. Okay. Very well done. So, anybody that talk about the downward pressure on commissions and what you had learned from the iBuyer, from the UpNest companies, and what their game is. Trevor?
Really? I don't know.
Not, or just.
I can talk about the downward pressure on the commissions. So there was a lot of different, like what Scott was talking about with actually showing your value, and then even the relationship components. There was a lot of those takeaways from the conference where they were talking about even if there is a cheaper and more broadcasted method and way that somebody can sell their house, if somebody really does have the right relationship with you, they don't care. There was I don't remember what the gal's name. It was the one that kept hugging it out or saying hug it out. Kristen. Kristen. She was talking about. She was talking with such energy that the moderator in one of the sessions was. They were talking about it doesn't really matter what her clients hear or get exposed to. She has such a relationship with them constantly, and she's involved in their lives authentically. And she actually does stop by their place, and she does actually call them and take the time to do these things and actually do the handwritten notes and all that kind of stuff. I mean, she had just a list of all these different things that she just did, and it was just part of her normal routine. And she was structured about making sure she had different time blocks of when she did it and how often and things like that. And then and she just made them a priority, and they felt that they were a priority. Mm-hmm. And then also to that note of the professional branding, she let people know how involved she was. She was on social media, and she did the professional videos. She did also the fun videos. She made sure that people knew that she was business. In addition to this very connected relationship she had with them. And so they knew they could trust her professionally, personally. They liked her. They just wanted to entrust her with their home.
Right. So talk about that. So she was super bubbly gal, and she would pull up. So every presentation, Trevor, she would pull the. Walk through that.
Let's see. Let me see if I can remember all that. Okay. So she she would, before going to their house, she would go pull all kinds of reports of where people were moving from. Like she'd go look through the deeds and she'd see their neighborhood that they were looking to list, where were people moving from. And so she knew that she was going to do all of the broadcasting or advertising or social media, whatever, and also look for her own buyers that were actually in those other neighborhoods that typically moved to this neighborhood that she was going on the listing presentation of. And so she'd come in there with this bubbly, lively, like friendly, like hug it out type personality, but she also equipped herself with the data behind the scenes that everybody was I mean, honestly, like, I don't know about you guys, when I heard that, I was like, dang, you go through, you like literally go through, you literally start just scrubbing through any sales in the last year and a half, 2 years, and you start going and looking at those deeds on the assessor site, and she literally tickies and tally marks which neighborhood those folks moved in from, and she does that before a listing presentation, so she goes in and blows them away.
Right. Let's go through and have...
I'm just going to say one thing kind of in connection with this. They said that the average, only 22% of our business is repeat business. Wow. Some of us are used to, Mike, where it's supposed to be 60% of your business is repeat and referral business. But when the national average is at 22%, like Scott said, it's a lot easier to cultivate and keep in touch with your older clients than it is to create and find new business, but we're just not doing that.
Right.
78% of the time we're losing out, and it's just because we're not staying in contact.
Right.
Which I thought that was a very scary
It's
statistic.
a high number, yes. Mamie, what is one thing that you're going to take away and implement to your team?
Okay.
Answer the question, yes.
So one of the things, and I'll be brief, the person, Alan Dalton's amazing. That Glenda Baker person, like, I am stalking her now. So first of all, here's what I learned. Don't judge a book by the cover. So we were sitting here, and Glenda Baker was in here in a sequin dress and sequin heels. I'm like, oh, no one told her what to wear. I was like, I totally didn't get it. I was like, seriously, I was like, what is, like, I didn't get it. Then she started talking. I'm like, oh my God, like, that woman can eat me for lunch. I mean, she's crazy. I mean, the amount of volume she does, she is fantastic. She is amazing. She wore it because it's Glenda Glitter. It's her thing. We didn't know that. I mean, you look at her marketing pieces that, again, I mean, she's ridiculous and amazing. Okay. So I'm totally stalking her now. But one of the things I learned from her, my biggest takeaway is my mother always told me the road to hell was paved with good intentions. And I am so going there. I might have said that here before. Like, I have the best of intentions. I have amazing ideas and I have no execution. Or I just don't do it. I write amazing notes, and then 2 weeks later, I'm like, shit, they're still on my desk. So the timely thing about getting stuff done, that's one of her brownie things, is like, she said, someone sends her a referral the next day, she pays the $40 overnight, the thank you is on their doorstep the next day. I'm like, oh my God, I have to do that. Kurt Sorry, who is here, totally hooked me up one day. I'm like, oh, I'll put a gift card in your mailbox. Freaking 2 weeks later, it got there, but I'm like, oh my God, why didn't I have it there? Like, it's one of those things. I had it bought, it was sitting on my desk, and I just never got it there for 2 weeks, so I sincerely apologize, but it did get to his inbox. So the timeliness thing was one of the things I totally took away, just saying those thank yous timely, and find someone and stalk them. I told her when she lived in Atlanta, Robin Mead, she has Robin Mead's home listed, and coincidentally her husband and I used to work together when they lived in Florida. I mentioned it to her. Again, timely, the next day I had an inbox in my message going, oh my God, talk to Tim, totally, blah, blah. And I'm like, shit, she's good.
Small world. Yes.
Yes, Mark.
Dr. Mamie, you said one of the roundtables that you're on or handle is how to stay in front of your clients without being obnoxious. Would you address that?
Sure. Well, I don't think I'm being obnoxious. They haven't told me yet. Well. They haven't unfriended me. But it's one of those things where, and you guys probably all do this, I could be or could not be driving through their neighborhood, and I will call them, send them a text, hey, just showed a house in your neighborhood, thinking about you guys, hope everything's well. And most of us, when we get to know our clients, and we're not selling that many houses that we don't know who our clients are, remember where they lived. It was just those little things. I think we do a good job of staying in front of them. If I see them on Facebook, and someone else, I can't remember who taught this to me, and I'm not that good with it, but I'm trying to. It's one of those things when I remember. Facebook is inundated with happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Even other agents, sometimes I will call and say, hey, happy birthday. And they're like,
oh my God, hey, just those things where sure anyone can post on Facebook if you take the extra 30 seconds to just make the phone call and say happy birthday instead of. And then the notes, doing those little notes, dropping them in the mail. Hey, was thinking about you. Hey, saw this. One girl, I just remember she loved aromatherapy. Seriously, aromatherapy is like $4. I put it in a little padded thing and sent it. I saw this fragrance, thought it would be great so you can like relax with the kids. She's like, oh my God. Just those little things that, the differences in the details, staying in front of your clients. So I wasn't saying, hey, do you need to buy? Hey, do you need to buy? Hey, do you need to buy or sell? It was just like I was in front of their face and they didn't know I was intentionally staying in front of their face.
Right, like so nice touches. It may seem redundant as agents do it every day, but it's a refreshing touch.
And the last thing too, and I don't remember if it was Dalton or Fred, it was probably Fred, we are going to sit down, or maybe it was Dalton, and have like, hey, do you want to sit down and just kind of talk about your real estate investment and what's going on in the market? Not because they're ready to sell, and then kind of leading the way, telling them this is what's going on in your market. I just kind of, like what my financial advisor does, let's sit down and talk about where this investment of yours is right now, if you were to sell now, if you would have sold last year, and let's look at maybe some investment properties, because I'm like really on the gung-ho. Everyone should. I was accosted a guy in the airport last night. He's 25. I'm like, do you rent or own? He wasn't even in our market, but I got his card and I'm going to hook him up with an agent there because he needs to start charging his roommates.
Right.
Okay.
Oh, Lord, we give it back. I'm just joking.
All right, we're back talking about commission. We're under attack by those that perceive that we are overpaid for what we do, and it's our fault. We are too quick to drop our commissions. Alan Dalton says when they ask you what your rate is, what's your fee, you answer like they asked you what time it is. What time is it? It's 4 o'clock. What's your rate? It's 7%. Listen, 7%. Repeat after me. 7%. Thank you. We pay for leads, which is ultimately splitting our commission. We tell our customers the only reason a home doesn't sell is because it's overpriced, and we allow them to set the price, or we market, or we say the market determines the price. They ask us questions, and to be safe, we tell them to consult an attorney. This is how perception becomes reality. We don't answer their questions. We let them lead us. We need to enhance our skills to lead them. We need to reinvent who we are and what we do and how we do it. A listing appointments are now, as said earlier, listing presentations. A listing presentation is about you, your company, and what you have done in the past. A marketing proposal is about their home, your marketing skills, and what will you be doing for them now. Shift from celebrating how you sell more homes to how you market your homes for more. Change your thinking from homes that do not sell because of price to homes that do not sell because of ineffective marketing.
Right.
Refer to yourself when representing the seller as the marketing agent versus the listing agent. You must be transactional. You must implement strategic planning and thinking. Stop being manipulated by the predatory software companies. Algorithms can't replace our skill set unless we allow them. Stop begging for referrals. It's beneath you. They will come naturally if you've earned them. Stop substituting service for skill. Demonstrate your skill and knowledge. Consumers will seldom question the cost of a skilled talent. Consumers believe they are paying too much for our services. Stress our skills of negotiating, marketing, merchandising, and networking far more than the value of our service. Service must be frosting on the cake, not the cake. Our greater value should be reflection of our outstanding skills rather than our service. Now, this is my final takeaway. My words, based on everything else. Consumers expect your great service. They respect your masterful skills.
Amen. That's great. Yes. And I'll get his notes especially out to everybody because that's good stuff. Trevor, do you have anything to end us off with?
Any last takeaways from the panel?
Sure. Yeah. For me, I personally took away there was a panel of Adam Briley, Tasha Moss, Shelley Klemke, and Spencer talking about teams and talking about their experience with teams. For what I'm relaying to my team, Mamie and Shelley's breakout session that we did that talked about how not to be annoying. There was so much information in there, so many things, and it was funny, like some of the basic things that people just aren't doing, and reminding yourself to actually give a true phone call. Like, I do a lot of texts, and I stay up with people and I send copy and screenshots of those texts to our team all the time. And so I'm like, hey, this is the randomness that I just come up with to say to people. And it's like, how's your summer been? Or how's your summer wrapping up? I mean, it's little one-liners of just saying hello. I don't bring up real estate at all. They do.
Right.
And to actually take the time then to block, 10 minutes to know that you're going to actually dial a phone number, make a phone call, or write that handwritten note. There were so many things like that in those sessions. So those are my two biggest takeaways for me, for the team. And then also holistically, I thought how funny it was that you can go to our conference in Nashville coming up next year, and you can, it's awesome. I've gone the last couple of years, and you've got the ticket cost, you've got the hotel cost, you've got the flight cost, and then any transportation while you're there. Great. Well, this one, if you have the opportunity to go, you literally have a ticket cost, and it's just as robust. They were extremely similar in the breakout sessions, the material, the amount you got, the variety that you could choose from to what applied to your personal situation, all that. I just thought how silly it would be if you had an opportunity to spend $375 next year, go to the one here after it's opened up to everybody if there's extra tickets available, and what a huge win that is and what a value is for the low cost comparatively.
Awesome. Yes, thank you. And we will, like I said, we'll have the videos and all the material and the handouts and everything, and we'll get those into your guys' hands once we debrief that. So that's coming. But thank you guys for sharing. Yes. Thank you. I think we're about at, yeah.
I was just going to say my favorite part probably was that we got this little notebook, so I got to feel like I was in high school again.
I appreciate that. Yes. Last year people left them here and it hurt my feelings. Thanks, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Vince and his crew did an amazing job. Melissa and Brooke and the entire admin staff. They made our office and everyone look amazing. So thank you guys. It was awesome.
Thank you. Okay, I hope we gave you guys our best Vince impersonation, and
thank you guys for coming today.
Hope you got out. We'll see you.
It all boils back down to the relationships. What Vince always preaches is making sure you're keeping relationships with all of your clients.